This video is brought to you by Loot Crate. Follow the link in the description and use the promo code also in the description to get $3 off your first crate. Hey, what's up, people? Piz out here and continuing my series, The Lost, in which I discuss lesser known, more obscure movies that I think deserve to be seen. Today I want to talk to you guys about a different kind of movie. If you're familiar with my channel, you guys know I talk predominantly about horror movies on this channel. I love horror movies. It's the genre that I watch the most and that I talk about the most. But I love all kinds of films. And occasionally I like to put the horror aside and reach for a down and dirty, bleak, revenge noir kind of movie that just takes no prisoners, promises no happy endings, and just is what it is. And this is one of my favorite films of that milieu. And it's a movie that I never hear anyone ever talking about. And I think it's a complete shame because I love this movie. I'm talking about City of Industry, starring Harvey Keitel, Timothy Hutton, Stephen Dorff, Famke Janssen. It's directed by John Irvin. And it is a down and dirty revenge noir crime thriller that takes no prisoners, is brutal, and is bleak. And I absolutely love it. Harvey Keitel plays a criminal by the name of Roy Egan. He teams up with his brother, played by Timothy Hutton in the film. They put a crew together. They decide to hit a jewelry store to steal some diamonds. They're going to offload them. They're going to make a ton of money. And that plan all goes sideways when Stephen Dorff, who's the driver for the crew, he decides, why should we split the spoils 4 ways? I just want to take it all. So he kills everybody in the crew except, of course, for Harvey Keitel. Harvey Keitel sets out on a journey to get revenge against Stephen Dorff's character and, of course, to get what is his. Along the way, he befriends, I guess might be the closest word to it, one of the dead crew members' wives, played by Famke Janssen, in the film. And I love this movie. I love these kinds of movies. This is a straightforward A to B to C kind of plot. There's no backstories. There's no subplots. We learn everything we need to know about Harvey Keitel's character in one line of dialogue, and I love this line of dialogue. While he's tracking down Stephen Dorff's character, he decides to pay Stephen Dorff's ex-girlfriend a visit. And she's like, I've not seen him. You know, I don't know where he is, but if you're here, clearly he screwed you over and you want revenge. And he's like, and Keitel's character's like, yeah, he killed my brother. And she's like, well, why don't you just call the police? And Keitel replies, I'm my own police. There's another great sequence in the film as well that I think is very telling and is very, very subtle, especially for a movie like this. It's very subtle, but I think it says a lot about the character of Roy Egan in the movie. He gets injured, let's just say, at some point in the movie, and he relies on Famke Janssen's character to kind of nurse him back to health. And once she's done that, the only way he knows to repay someone for that kind of charitable act is to pull out a wad of money and pay them. And she takes the money and she throws it back at him, and she's like, you guys are all the same. And there's this quiet moment where he kind of realizes, okay, so I am that kind of guy, because we're talking about a career criminal here, and he's probably, he just is who he is. He is that kind of guy, he realizes, and that's exactly what this kind of guy does. Now, that doesn't soften him any, that doesn't give any kind of realization for him really in the film, any kind of catharsis, because at the end of the day, he is kind of, and I love this about the movie as well, he is kind of an anti-hero in the film because, again, he's a criminal, he's a shady kind of guy, but you're rooting for him because he's going after an even shadier guy to get what's his. And I love that about, these kind of movies particularly, and just anti-hero noirish kind of films in general. You're rooting for a character who in any other movie would be the bad guy that you're rooting against. I love that dichotomy. Really well made movie, really well written movie. There are some really good action sequences in the film as well. At the end of the day, though, down and dirty, brutal. The ending of the movie is absolutely brutal. Harvey Keitel and Stephen Dorff have it out at the end, and I won't spoil anything, but how Stephen Dorff meets his end is just perfect for this movie. It literally pounds home the fact that you're watching a movie that is just taking no prisoners. It's down, it's dirty, it's brutal, and that's what it is. It's a really well-made movie. It's a really well-acted movie. I love Harvey Keitel. I've loved Harvey Keitel in just about everything. He's great in this film. Stephen Dorff is really good. Famke Janssen is really good. Timothy Hutton seems a little maybe miscast because they kind of, to make him look like a criminal, they just sort of put a 5 o'clock shadow on him, but that's how you make a criminal out of somebody. You just put a 5 o'clock shadow on them and they're shady. They're a criminal, I guess. He seemed a little miscast in the movie, but otherwise, great cast. Famke Janssen's great. And, again, I just love this movie, and it is a shame that more people have not seen it. This is the only release of the film outside of VHS that I'm aware of. This is an MGM Movie Time DVD. All it's got on it is a theatrical trailer, but it is an MGM title. It is in that MGM vault that Shout Factory loves to pull from. So Shout Factory, if you're watching this movie, a quality Blu-ray release for City of Industry with at least a few nice extras would be very much appreciated for those of us who do love this movie. I can't say enough good things about it. As I said, great cast. I think it's really well written. It's a well-made film, well-written film. Just like I said, bleak. A to B to C, no subplots, no BS, straightforward, at your throat kind of revenge noir crime thriller, and that is right up my alley. If you've seen City of Industry, please let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. If you have not seen City of Industry, go out and see if you can find this DVD. I'm sure you can find it for really, really cheap. It's probably not out of print, I'm guessing. Go check it out. Come back and let me know what you thought of it in the comments section. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care. And until next time, peace.